all of you have seen some of my Cosmos presentations before on things I just thought up, applied. We got some great students in the system. I think today I want you to learn from Anu, who's a member of the Success Coach team for the past year, thinking of it in a very methodical manner. So a structured way of thinking of your personal essays. We'll actually share a couple of essays with you, a few essays for clusters and for the personal essay. We'll talk about a way of thinking which is applied not just for Cosmos, but even for the UC application. So everything we talk over here is very relevant to pretty much even your personal essays for college. So take good notes and come back to us if you have any questions. With that, Anu, please take it away. And what do you want to talk about today?
Um, Thank you, Harpal, for such a warm welcome. Today, I think our goal is more on understanding how to approach the personal essays for Cosmos and also thinking about how to answer the cluster essays. And that would give the systematic approach we have would give the students a good understanding of how they need to set up the framework. So without much, to go into, let me just get the presentation started.
Anu and I tend to typically go into squabbles and interesting dialogues on, personal essays. So this should be a good time for us to have a discussion about these personal essays. So please go ahead.
So so the Cosmos personal essay for the question, the prompt they have is beyond what you have shared in the application, what makes you stand out as a strong candidate, if there's anything you want to tell about yourself. But I think, honestly, the most important aspect of the question that needs to get the focus is what have you not shared with us that will highlight a skill? Again, I'm stressing on a skill, talent, challenge, or opportunity that would help them to know you better. So what are the caveats you see, Harpal, when students tend to answer this question? What do you see happening?
They throw in the kitchen sink. They get lost when they see the first part, like when they read the words, what makes you believe what do you believe makes you stand out as a strong candidate? They think of strength. They don't think of vulnerabilities. They think about lying about a lot of things. And they miss out on showing maturity. They miss out on, they come across as prima donnas. And that's one thing which UCs don't want. Cosmos also does not want. And nobody wants to see a prima donna in life.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on that. It's not they want you to come across as the Iron Man or the Iron Woman, but what have you gone through? Can you share one? That's why they say a skill or talent, something, an experience or a challenge you've faced from where you've grown, showed some change in perspective or developed a new perspective, and that shows you in a new light that you're willing to learn from your experiences. I think that is the take-home message.
I mean, the new light is something which is, how will you behave with the cohort? It's a cluster, right? At the end of the day, you're going to be in 30 days locked away from home in a place which is not home, and emotional maturity, learning, collaboration, not being a lone wolf, hustling, coming up when the chips are against you, focus, discipline. They want to see that are you going to be a pain in the butt? Are you going to be somebody who will not contribute to the classroom? Are you just here because you want a good star on your resume? I mean, you might be a nerd, you might be great at calculus, but you might not be cut out for Cosmos. So I think the personal essay is an opportunity for you to show to your the professor, who is, by the way, going to read the application, that you're not going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, that's a honest way to put it, right? So when students are thinking about essay topics, your essay can come from anything as long as it's showing a personal picture of you, an experience where you show some values about you. So it can be your life stories, sometime when you took a travel somewhere, your challenges, your experiences, an activity that you enjoy doing, or an activity that you failed and then later got better. Any event that happened to you, anything is a fair game. So with that, I would say there are three things a writer should be informed, Harpal, when they're thinking about an essay, just to get an idea of why am I writing this? Who is going to be reading this? And what do I want to present about myself? What is my intention, right? So know your audience. Your Cosmos audience are the professors and the academic experts in the field who will be reading this, right, to select you. So they want to see a little bit more beyond your academic profile that's already in the application. Know your intention, like have a simple, authentic, engaging story that shows your values and your qualities and perspectives that you have. Know yourself. Write it in a simple, honest way. You don't have to dress it up with bells and whistles, just like you're talking to your best friend. Anything you want to add on, Harpal?
Your intention, obviously, you want to, come to Cosmos. That's a given. Don't say that. And most 90% of the applications, for some reason or the other, say Cosmos is the best place in the world, and I cannot believe, how my life is going to transform. That's not what they want to hear. They want to hear, how are you going to contribute to the community, to the classroom? Professors want to know intellectual curiosity. They want to hear. So even if you're going to talk about a dance performance that you worked your tail off, what they're looking for is to maybe a connection, a conversion point, which says, and as I found more rhythm in my work and my dance, I could actually even see this showing in some amazing ways in my work, or how music changed my love for math or something of that kind. But it's got to be a story which is heartfelt. It's got to be something which you could, the litmus test is you're going for a date. It's a blind date, and you only have 3 minutes to impress this person, and they ask you, tell me something about yourself. I mean, are you going to just go and flex? Or if you are, why are you? The why is so important. Flex is fine, but make sure you know the why. Don't spend all your time just saying, I did this, I did this, I did this, because now I don't know what the why is. So, yeah.
Yeah. And as you put it, like, don't say the cliche terms, right? Like, this is the greatest passion I want to pursue in life, and I see meaning through it. Like, that would be a very cliche way of saying, because many of them are going to write that way. So, how are you standing apart?
I mean, show, not tell, right? And
Yes.
even if like you said in the beginning, you have to tell them one story. And now, if you really are desperate to tell them 2 stories, make it a segue.
Yeah.
One to the other. I did this. This is what happened. This was how I felt then. But I'm so enamored and surprised that how this showed up with its ugly head later. And I'm glad it did, because now I was able to make a bigger change. So now you can do 2 stories in one, but it's a cute way of doing it right now. And that's how we usually talk in person anyways. So
Yeah. The way you present yourself to your best friend, there's a certain amount of honesty with which you